order for this system to be credible, they had to go to the Doctors' Board of Medicine to get both the metrics and the data behind what makes a quality cardiologist. They felt that if they were the ones, even though they're well-equipped and have the data to do it, that it wouldn't have credibility. So they went to the Doctors' Boards of Medicine and they said, hey, Board of Medicine, what does it mean to be a good cardiologist? They applied it to their network, and what they found was that in most cases, about 60% of their network were at or above those quality thresholds. When they looked at it from a pricing perspective, they found that the 42% that were the lower quality were spending about 77% of the dollars within the network. So almost 2 to 1. And why is that? Well, generally speaking, it's because they're either not as skilled at diagnosing you, so they do more tests and more procedures and more costs before they get to the right diagnosis, and or they're more apt to have either complications or procedures or surgeries that don't fix the problem. And unfortunately, we're in a fee-for-service business or for healthcare where the more they do, the more they get paid. I mean, imagine if I saw a news story where someone booked a trip to somewhere and they get on the plane and it takes them somewhere, like they booked a trip to, Atlantic City and they wind up on a plane to Morocco or something ridiculous. But imagine if I came to you and I said, I need a flight to Las Vegas, and you book me a flight to LA. Am I going to expect to pay for the flight to LA and then pay again for the flight to Vegas? Yet, if I come in because I'm having stomach aches and you diagnose me as needing my appendix removed and you remove it and it turns out that it was my gallbladder, you get paid more money than if you did it right the first time. So that's another issue with our healthcare system, is it's fee for service. And again, that was set up by the insurance company, so I don't hold them blameless at all. But it's definitely been a big factor in why our costs are so high. So when United published this data, here's a way for to get to better doctors that, oh, by the way, happen to cost less money. They thought people would go to these doctors in droves. Didn't happen. Matter of fact, they publish that data on their regular doctor search, and people just glance over it. They don't even pay attention to it. So they came out with the plans that you guys have in place, which basically say go to those better doctors and get better coverage. Don't go to those better doctors and get lesser coverage. It's really that simple. So when you go to a premium doctor, one of those doctors that have achieved that quality ranking, you pay a $30 copay for that specialist, which is a much lower copay for specialists than is common today. But the flip side is that if you go to a non-premium designated specialist, then that visit itself becomes part of your deductible and coinsurance. So if you haven't met any of your deductible, you're essentially going to pay the full, albeit discounted price, but the